Hello and welcome everyone to my channel FPL Inklink. My name is Mo and this is my FPL channel to give you guys the latest news, the best content and to get you guys started for this new season for 2021-2022 for Fantasy Premier League. So before we begin, I just want to say if you've come here for the first time and you've clicked onto my video, thank you and welcome to FPL Inklink. And if you've been here before and you've come back, I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for coming back and viewing my content once again. So before we begin, we're going to do the formalities that if you still haven't subscribed to my channel and you'd like to, take a moment, hit that lovely subscribe button and be a subscriber of FPL Inklink. In addition, help me get these subscribers up as high as possible before the start of the season. If you'd also like to get the latest notifications of when I release my content, hit that lovely bell notification icon button, which will give you all the information that you need in regards to when I do release my content. Last but not least, if you like this video, all you got to do is hit that thumbs up button to let me know that you've liked the video I have released. So let's not waste any further time. So today's video is an update to my latest FPL draft for my game week 1. So I've made a few videos previously where people have requested a form of like a draft or like a premium version of midfielders, but this is actually my own. There's no request here. I will be making some more where I've got some requests over social media to get the following drafts of, like, for example, premium midfielders, budget defenders, 3 premium attackers and specific teams they want me to do combinations for, which I will do in due course. Obviously there's some more signings to come, but do you know what, I spent some time on this today and I decided to make my own squad to see what it looks like. This isn't the final version, guys, this is the current version. There's a very strong likelihood it probably won't change much, but we're looking at around this form of a squad for me. So the formation that I have picked, guys, is 4-4-2 going forward, and I've got a bench as well. So the form, kind of like the process of my thought process around this is what I've said previously to people is, firstly, don't spend too much on a goalkeeper. 4.5 seems around a good amount, and you've got a good backup at Forster at 4 mil. For Watford, he may get game time as well. Especially my bench, I haven't spent more than 4.5 on any player. They are there needed and they will get minutes. For example, like for Fofana, Basuma, who will get minutes. There's 2 players to cover me there. Davis doesn't really play much, but do you know what? He's on the bench, and quite frankly, I've invested money into a squad where I believe that most of my players will be regular starters. So let's not waste any further time and let's get stuck into my starting 11. Start with the goalkeeper, which is Sanchez from Brighton. 29% of managers have currently owned him, which makes him one of the highest owned keepers so far from the 790,000 players that have joined, or managers that have joined so far. Last season, 101 points, 2,430 minutes. So he didn't play the whole season, got 10 clean sheets. And you know, I think it's probably even going to get better for him this season. It's a great prospect. They've got some really good games coming up originally. Burnley and Watford, followed by Everton, then Brentford and Crystal Palace, you know, within the first 6 game weeks, followed by Norwich as well. So not too much of difficult fixtures. They've got 2 reds in there in the first 8 game weeks, so I think there are some really good points to be scored there from Sanchez. So that was kind of like the general thought process about selecting him as my keeper. I've had him in my previous drafts and I don't have any intention, just unless there's another better prospect that comes along, that he will change from my draft. So I'm going to start with 4 defenders that I'm going to be playing. So obviously, first comes first, it's going to be Trent, one of the highest owned kind of managers' favourite this season so far. So he's owned at around 28% at the moment, despite being 7.5 mil. Scored 160 points last season as a defender, which was the second highest, 1 point behind Robertson, which is his teammate. Last season wasn't probably one of his best seasons, so he scored 200 points the season before. But last season he got 160 points with 8 goals, 8 assists and 2 goals. Now the only concern for me was they conceded 40 goals, so that was the highest they've conceded over at least the last, since he's been playing the game, which is 5 seasons. So Liverpool need to shore up their defence, improve their home form, but generally the best thing about Trent is, you know, he plays for Liverpool. Klopp always has like this form of play that he wants to play, which suits fantasy managers. He's on set pieces such as free kicks, corners, so that would be very beneficial, especially when he plays a few games against the so-called kind of promoted sides. And this is where it gets key, guys. So the first 10 game weeks of this, he's playing, or 8 game weeks, sorry, he's playing the 3 promoted clubs, so that's why he's quite a favourite. I know a lot of kind of managers are going for Salah, but in this draft I've kind of like favoured Kane for now. even though he's listed as a Manchester City, a Tottenham player, not Man City yet. But if there is a move, then I can obviously change my decision. But we'll get to that later. But let's focus on Trent for now. So he's got some really good fixtures, 3 of the promoted clubs in the first 8 game weeks. So that's why it makes him a real hot favourite for me to have in my squad. And I have chosen him, and I'm going to fully back him, especially with the clean sheets as well, but hopefully to get me few returns as well. I've also gone for Wan-Bissaka. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka is pretty much, he's there or thereabouts. He's worth 5.5 mil, and he does what it says on the tin. He plays wing back for United. Yes, he doesn't get you masses of returns and goals and assists, but do you know what? For what he's worth on FPL, I think he gives you a fair return. 7 returns last season, 144 points, 36 goals conceded with 13 clean sheets. Unless he's injured or they have 3 games in 6 days like last season, he's not going to be rotated because he's pretty much the best player in his position. Whereas Luke Shaw does have competition within the squad for left back. I think Wan-Bissaka, unless there's an injury or he's completely out of form, he's got nothing to worry about. That's why I've chosen him. Might be a bit of a differential as well, because not many experts on FPL on YouTube at the moment are rating Wan-Bissaka, but I think overall in the long-term plan he will be worth having. So that's why he's in my draft at this moment. Lucas Digne, so almost 25% of the managers registered at the moment own Lucas Digne, and I'll tell you the reason why. He got 120 points last season, which wasn't his highest ever score, but he's got the most number of assists last season, which is 9 for him. So he's always there or thereabouts. He's a set-piece specialist, takes free kicks, takes corners, and likes to run down the flank to cross the ball in to help with goals and assists for Everton. Now, what makes him so fruitful and so high in demand is his fixtures. So if you look at the first 10 game weeks for me, Everton have the best, one of the best fixtures in the first 10 game weeks with only 1 red fixture, which is United. At game week 7 away at Old Trafford, so that's the only red fixture I can see. But otherwise, you got Southampton, Leeds, Brighton, Burnley, Aston Villa, Norwich, West Ham, Watford, and Wolves, which for me are all winnable for them, especially with their new manager Rafa. It's going to be worth seeing how they play their football. So that's why he's in my squad, and he's pretty much been in most of my drafts. So I think I won't be taking him out from here. And my number 1 player on my team sheet is Luke Shaw. Not really much I can say about him. He's had a phenomenal Euros, a phenomenal last season, and this guy is probably becoming one of the best left backs in the world at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that through club loyalty. I'm saying that through absolutely the things that I've seen what he's done on a football pitch. For a player that broke his leg and pretty much had a chance of never playing the game again, he's come back and he's showing what he is worth. So, last season was by a country mile his best FPL season. Played majority of the minutes, 2,653, 1 goal, 5 assists, 124 points. I think it can get better this season. And if we look at some of their fixtures for United in the first 10 game weeks, yes, there's a few reds, but they've got Leeds, Southampton, Wolves, Newcastle in the first 4 game weeks. So that's a real good start from a defensive point of view and an attacking point of view. And that's why I've kind of gone double United. Yep, they got a few tough games from game week 7. They got Everton, Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City. It's going to be tough. But you know what? That's where the best is brought out of managerial decisions in the FPL game. And I'm going to be brave and I'm going to stick with him during that period as well. So let's wait and see what he can perform. But that's why Luke Shaw is part of my back 4. Now, moving on to the midfield, my captain. The information is Bruno Fernandes, owned by over 40% of managers, 41.2, 12 million price. And he was the highest scoring player last season in the game itself. 18 goals, 14 assists. He's on penalties, set piece specialist, free kicks, corners. He's everywhere. So Manchester United's majority of their goals go through him. Now, at the moment, the issue I have is between him, Kane, or Salah in this draft. Now, Salah, for me, is so difficult to leave out because of the fixtures I've mentioned for Trent. He's playing 3 of the 8 promoted sides. So I may bring him in either for Fernandes or Kane. But again, it all hinders on the decision of mine whether Kane stays at Spurs or moves to Man City. So it's still worth waiting and seeing. But he's in my squad. He's my captain at the moment for my first game week as they're playing Leeds at home. It's going to be an expansive game, a big game. I think he might go big in that game. Now, Cancel. Moving on to the next player, I've got James Rodriguez. So this is my differential. James got off to a fast start last season, and there's no reason why he can't this season. He's been rested, he doesn't have any football during mid-season, and he's going to come back fresh. The issue is he's injury prone, so how long will he last? We don't know, and we've already discussed the Everton fixtures, and they do look very promising. So from a goal return aspect, if he gets the minutes under Rafa, definitely a good option. Only owned by 5% of managers, 7 million price, which I think is fair. And he got 100 points last season, only considering he played, 18, 19 games in total minutes. 6 goals, 5 assists. Definitely worth seeing that, guys. This is a differential I will say to you guys should worth considering having in your squad. That's why in this draft at the moment he is in there. And let's see what he can deliver. The next player is obviously Mr. Aston Villa himself, Jack Grealish. Still waiting to see whether he goes to Man City or not. Having an amazing England Euros campaign at the moment. Super sub Jack Grealish. Owned by 37% of managers, nearly 8 million in price, which is a really good price. 135 points last season. 18 goal contribution and assists. 6 goals and 12 assists. Just played over 2,000 minutes because of injury, but generally he's been pretty phenomenal. He's got 13 bonus points as well, so there's not really much else I need to say about him. But if we look at him from a fixtures perspective, first 3 games look pretty fruitful, and then obviously there's a tough patch till game week 7. But if you look from game week 8 all the way to game week 14, another good patch. So you could get some really good points there. He may be a captaincy option for the first couple of weeks, so it'll be worth waiting and seeing for that. Last not least, but Mr. Rafinha. So Rafinha is at Leeds at the moment. Last season, he's 6.5 mil, which is a very generous price. I thought he got to about 7, maybe 7.5. Owned by nearly 27% of managers, 133 points last season. Now, he didn't play every single game, but I think this season his minutes will go up. And near the end of the last season, the second half, his assists and goals were pretty much so much better for him as an FPL manager to have someone with his ability and his price in your squad. So that's why he's in there for me. I think there'll be some really good points for him to have. And if we look at their fixtures, barring the first 3 out of the 4 game weeks, until game week 10, then they look pretty cool. They got Burnley away, Newcastle, Watford, Southampton, Wolves and Norwich. So I think there's some very good games there for them. To really show what they're worth, and whether they play a stronger opposition or a so-called, not such a strong opposition, they always give their best, and they're quite expansive, and that's what I love about Leeds and Bielsa. And this guy is going to be at the forefront of most of their attack, and he does do some set pieces as well. That's what makes him so much more attractive. Now, the 2 strikers, Mr. Harry Kane, England's captain, Mr. Reliable, 26% ownership, nearly 242 points last season, and he's priced at 12.5 mil, which is joint highest player in terms of price this season, along with Mo Salah. Highest goal scorer, highest assist maker last season, with 37 goal contributions, 23 goals and 14 assists. So will he be at City? Will he be at Spurs? It all depends. If he stays out of Spurs, I may go to Mo Salah for the first couple of game weeks and change him. Maybe from like a James Rodriguez, or I might just change him to Ollie Watkins or potentially Iheanacho. We'll be waiting and see. There's other options at 7.5 mil. Maybe Ivan Toney and upgrade it a half mil anywhere else in the squads where I can find it. But Kane's in for now in this draft. 40 bonus points last season, and he is going to be worth considering. Definitely for managers if they're looking to have one potent striker. This campaign itself, and do you know what? He's on penalties. He takes free kicks, and if he goes to a squad like Manchester City, that those figures may even get better. He might even break the 300-point mark, which Salah did a few seasons ago. Yes, it seems ambitious, but do you know what? When he's got the talent of Sterling, Mahrez, Foden, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, this kind of fruitful talent around him, I can only fear the worst. And even if Grealish goes there, wow, then it would definitely be worth looking forward to. So we'll have to wait and see. But for now, he's in there. If he stays at Spurs, then it may be a strong chance that for the first couple of game weeks at least, I'm never going to tell him ditching him for the whole season, but just for the first couple of game weeks, I may go Salah due to the fixtures difficulties. And then last but not least, at number 11 is my second striker on pitch. It's DCL. So Dominic Calvert-Lewin got 165 points last season, 8.0 mil, so it's actually 8 mil exact. owned by over 28% of managers. And obviously the fixtures, again, as I mentioned previously, for Everton are quite fruitful. That's why I've gone triple Everton for at least the first couple of games to really take advantage of the fixture schedule that they have. 16 goals, 6 assists. Really well played last season, his best season by a country mile. Only can get better, and obviously Benitez coming in. Let's see what they can actually add to his game. Lethal in the air, lethal with his feet. And I think only he can get better as a player. So we're gonna have to wait and see how he does. And obviously, if he's got players like Sigurdsson, Richarlison, James Rodriguez, Lucas Digne on the pitch, and maybe if they add with a few more talents on the pitch itself, then it can only get better. And his points tally for managers will only improve. So it's going to be worth seeing how he fares along and how he does. So that's why I've kind of gone triple Everton, and that is my squad so far for my updated draft. So what are your thoughts, guys? Let me know what you think. Are you agreeing with my choice? Is there someone that you think I've missed out? Do you like my squad? Do you not like the squad? Do you think it's balanced? It's not balanced? Let me know. But this is just one of my drafts at the moment, and I'm pretty certain that barring a few players, probably going to be pretty close to this. I am looking for maybe a 4-3-3, 3-4-3 or a 4-4-2 formation, which I've played in this draft itself. Let me know what you think and let me know what your thoughts are. But before we go, if you like the video, hit that thumbs button and give me a like. If you want to subscribe to my channel and you haven't yet, what a better moment than this now. Take a moment, look at your screen and hit that lovely subscribe button. And in addition, if you want latest notifications for viewing this content because you've enjoyed it today and you've liked my previous content, feel free to hit that bell icon and get the latest notifications. But before we go, if you haven't joined the FPL Inklink League, you pop that code into FPL Inklink and you join the best league that is going on the game itself. You guys want to contact me, drop me some comments on this video. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All my other social media is listed at the bottom as well, and I'll be there to help you guys out. If there's anything you want me to do specifically, anything video-wise, or you want me to give you some help, let me know and I'll be there for your assistance. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'll be back with some more content, and all I'm going to say is take your time, make your best decisions, and do you know what? Do what you feel is right, because at the end of the day, it's your choice, it's your team, and you need to stick by your decisions. But best of luck, and I will definitely see you guys soon with some more content.